Hang on. What the heck? Okay, well, we're having technical difficulties. I gotta figure this out. Hang on a second. Everything just freaked the heck out. Um. Oh my goodness, my camera's not working. Everything just freaked out. I don't like to go to comments. Can you guys hear me? I started the intro video. It flashed white. Wait a minute. If I can get it. Flashed white and then everything went black. Give me a sec. Can you see me? I'm here. Can you hear me? Are we good? Comment if you can see me. Can you see movement? Am I moving? Okay. Well, hello. Welcome to Fallawsophy. I'm your host, Jennifer Fallaw. Something just happened over here. You know what? I don't know what's going on here, but I've been saving all the videos. I need to download into my separate storage because I think the computer's too full, which I didn't think we would use up all the space, but apparently there's a problem lately. Either that or it's StreamYard. So, hello. I will go as long as I can tonight. If this continues on, I'll just have to shut it down and fix the computer and come on another day. But it sounds like I have used up all the disk space, is what it's telling me, or something happened. I don't know. And if it takes too long, I'll probably just get everything off of it and throw it in the trash, because that's what I do. Go get another one. Hello, everyone. So tonight, just a little bit of RV update. The news is really good. Sound is jumping. I don't know. Can I get a 10-4 if everything's working okay before I begin? In the comments, hit me with 10-4. Sound is fine. 10-4s. We got 10-4s everywhere, so we're good. Okay. Today we're going to do some Jentel confirms because something happened that was just so cool. Oh my goodness. So many Jentel confirms, old ones, new ones, Gematria. The Gematria just blew my mind. Just blew my mind. Okay. It looks like we might be a little bit behind with some viewers. If you're still commenting 10-4, go ahead and slide your bar so that you're caught up with us. You didn't miss anything. Of course, you wouldn't see that if you were behind. So whatever. That's right, Jen. All right. So just today, there's too much to tell and too much I can't tell. But in the last couple days, a lot of intel's been coming in talking about the possibility of us going something big happening that would lead to our notifications, or our notifications is probably the first one. Tonight, tomorrow, Friday. Okay. The Jentel this week was very cryptic, but totally cool. Totally cool. So we're going to start with that. If you're not following my Fallawsophy channel, you need to be. This is where I'm posting all these Jentel confirms, relevant information about the RV. This is where it is, and the link is also in the write-up of this show. In the explanation. We've had all kinds of Jentel confirms coming in since the 25th. What is this one? Especially exposure begins next week, and that was from Jentel from 8/18. We've got a lot of things coming to the surface. Former CDC scientists whose studies were used to debunk vaccine autism link will plead guilty. So there's a lot of those coming in, but this is the story I want to tell here. As far as we know, nobody knows the exact time of when this is going to happen, but I feel like it's happening. I mean, I'm serious. And we've got a message straight from Jesus. And if you don't believe me, stick around, because you will in a minute. So, where do I begin with this? Yellow. I would like to tell everybody that our code word is yellow. Yellow is our code word for it's happening. Years ago, when I was developing interdimensional meditation, I was working with a man who was using hemisync technology to go into meditation, ask the same questions. I was using my way. We would come out, compare, not speak to each other, go in with the same questions, come out, exchange emails, compare our notes. It was so often correct and very, very close. Same answer, basically. Mine more emotional, more loving. His more scientific, universal. Same answers. That I thought maybe he was deceiving me somehow. I was like, no, this is just like too good. I mean, So I went into meditation. And I went to Archangel Michael and I said, I don't trust him. He's deceiving me somehow. I want to make sure, before I proceed, that that's not happening. I said, the code word is yellow. And I don't know, I must have saw something yellow. I don't know why I chose yellow. And I said, I'm going to tell him to come into meditation. I want you to be there. If he comes back and gives me the code word, I will continue this work. So his name is Marcus Leader. I messaged him and I said, go into meditation. Someone wants to talk to you. And that's all I told him. Emailed him. So about an hour later, half an hour, something like that, he comes back and he says, I don't know what you wanted me to do, but Archangel Michael was there. He looked at me and said, yellow. and told me to leave. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. This is real. This is real. And so I continued my work, and here I am today. And in doing these shows, and I told this story, we were talking about when the RV happens and when notifications come out, what are we going to say? And I'm like, yellow. Code word is yellow. I told the story. And so people who have been following me know that yellow is the code word for it's happening. Present day. This is so cool. This is the kind of stuff I live for. Side note. Okay? You're going to love this. So I go into meditation and I get the Jentel for the RV update on 8/24, Monday. Jesus won't give me a timeline, which I'm always trying to get because that's all anybody ever wants to know. And he said, nothing to see here. Meanwhile, a very large engine generates new codes. Base camp is in London. A code is the trigger. Trigger for what? I said he showed me an illuminated grid across the world, probably either Skylink or the QFS system. Fast, safe transfers, like a gunshot. Side note, I believe, is shotgun start. So he's giving me everything kind of coded, okay? He said there's only speculation about when the world will change. No one can know. And he stared at me. He said ignition is in sight. Then I was still trying to get a date from him. I'm like, do you have any estimation? I mean, everybody's coming. Everybody's waiting on me. I mean, you got anything? Can you tell me, time period? He wouldn't. And he just said, 1, 2. Just like that. So I assume, I wrote it down. I assume, okay, 2 fingers, 48 hours, could possibly be true. After that, I got treaties signed yesterday, August 23rd. We have a show coming up about August 23rd. God wins, a prediction, a message I got from him back in, I think it was 21. That's going to trip you up. Okay, there's another man on the internet who's did a show talking about the Bible and how long we've been enslaved. And that took us, it took us, and when we're going to be freed. He's doing these calculations. Came out to 2026. And what he said in that show, a friend told me today, I haven't watched it completely yet, but I'm gonna, and there'll probably be a show on it. What he said in that show was humanity's been enslaved and it's supposed to be freed in 2026. When? He did the calculations. And he said, August 23rd, God wins. Now, what are the chances that Jesus told me that in 2021 in a meditation? And every year about August 23rd, we're like, is it this year? Now, here we are, present day. And he says 1, 2. The word 1 and the word 2. And I wrote it in the Jentel, not in number form, but in word form. Why would I do that? Here we go. So someone went and gematria'd the word 1 and the word 2 together. This person is intuitive. I don't know. I can't remember who the heck did this, but you're a genius. Because out of everything, they zoomed in. Of course, they're looking for a time period, but he zoomed in on the 1, 2. Picked up that was the word, the number was written out. But the word was written out for the numbers, not just numbers. Okay. Now, for anyone who wants to think that I did the work to figure out how this would happen, you're delusional. I don't have time for that. Half the time, I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm so busy. I don't even have time to eat. Okay? So listen to this. Okay. He gematria, and it's all posted on Telegram. He gematria 1, 2. The first thing that stood out, what have I been talking about lately? The evil stepfather and the stepsister. Where does she live? California. Somebody pointed that out to me today. Where is he from? Where are we from? California. Who have I been battling and saying, no, I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing? The evil stepfather from California. Okay. First thing that stuck out. C.A. Demon cannot be near Jen. It said my name. Trip out on that. Jen. Then, from the word 1 and the word 2 together, we got Jen talking to angels. I couldn't write this better. If I was writing the story, which I probably did, but I couldn't write this better than that. That's freaking awesome. I mean, come on. Jen, not just Jennifer, or she talks to angels, or, whatever. Jen talking to angels. And this came from Jesus, okay? And the whole Jentel's coded. The next thing that came up from the word 1 and the word 2 is yellow. And what was I asking him when he said 1 and 2? I was asking him for a timeline. When is this going to happen? When is this going to happen? Give me something. When is this going to happen? Wouldn't do it. Sensitive situation right now. Yellow. What does yellow mean? He knows. As a group, it's our code word for it's happening. What are the chances of that? What are the chances of that? Now you tell me he doesn't exist. And I don't know what I'm doing. God, I love it. I love that. That's too damn good. That is too good. I've been excited about that since yesterday. All right. There's your message, people. And since the real world contacts have been saying that's what they're hearing as well. We could go Wednesday night, we could go Thursday, some people Friday. Now, some people are posting about how in a interesting collection of words, something I said a long time ago, that it was in the Jentel, and I did a show on it on 6/1, and I'm looking for it. Hang on. Posted all this on Telegram. Oh my goodness, I posted too much on Telegram. In the Jentel meditation for 6/1, Jesus was saying, he said, Reno is the trigger for gold. I said, what do you mean? They said they're buying back gold in large quantities. I said, why? He said, to support the new financial system. Each piece must have gold to back it. How Do they have the money to buy back gold? What are they buying? He said, they have secret treasury trust and they are buying back golden antiquities and masterpiece items. And I said back then that tier will fund the mechanism. We have heard from other people since that they believe that is true. Golden guns, things like that, fund the mechanism. I said that back on another show I was on, or mine. I believe it was that other show I was on 6/1. Now, we've got other Jentel confirms that started coming in. Now, when the coming in the news, once again, is our clues to tell us that something is happening or is true and happening from the RV news part of the meditation. So if we see it coming in the news, Jentel confirmation from that meditation, we want to go back to that meditation, read it again, see if that's happening now. Just scrolling back and forth here. Okay, so we got to confirm Chuck Grassley. 6 weeks away from harvest. What was I looking at? Kernels. Pretty good harvest coming up. This week's Jentel, we just had Simply Grassley. Pretty good harvest coming up. What did we have the week before? And what would Chuck Grassley tell us about? The exposure, the rounding them up, people going down, people getting arrested, things like that. And on 8/18 in the Jentel, we had exposure, disclosure happening this week. And now everybody's talking about what Grassley said. Bruce, big call, August 25th. He discusses the dinar, talks about removing the 3 zeros, takes value down of those notes only in the country, blah, blah, blah. That has, in the country, that has been taking place and believes was completed 2 days ago. Sunday. What was Sunday? Anyone? Hands? August 23rd. And what do we have in the Jentel that said something happened Sunday? I'm looking at my handwritten notes. Give me a sec. Okay. I did this on Monday. It said treaty signed yesterday. Things were signed yesterday. How much you want to bet something comes out later that's kicked this whole thing off and had a date on it? It's August 23rd. And there's a guy on the internet doing calculations from the Bible of a date that was in the Bible of when humanity was enslaved, and did the calculations and came up with the date August 23rd, 2026. We are released from our slavery. And then what did he say? August 23rd, God wins. I mean, I can't even write it better than that. I mean, that is so freaking cool. Okay? That is biblical. Now, isn't it? And my freaking name is in the gematria. Explain that to me. That's just a good story. I mean, that is a good story. That's really good. Then Mahid put out that August 25th, but it could have been. Now, so there's all these talks about green lights being given out, the zeros to be removed because the Iraqi market needs a lower denomination. It's coming out all over the place. Plus, word is coming in from very high ups through other people about other tiers, about Paymaster being ready to be able to pay their people, possible deals that fund the mechanism going through. Everybody's looking at tonight through Friday, and that's all I can really say. Okay? It's getting exciting. Now, explain the gematria to me. Debunk that. I dare you. Debunk that. Tell me. Do your best. Tell me now that Jesus doesn't exist. Tell me now. Tell me now that we don't have a reason to be here. Tell me now that we're delusional. This is written all along. Okay? You're here for a reason. We had the ISO 2022 went live on Wednesday. It is currently operating on XLM Lewins and XRP Stellar blockchain, some guy said, not familiar with the man. This indicates that they have switched to the new system from the previous Cabal Swift system. And what do we get over here? A code is a trigger. Trigger for what? He showed me an illuminated grid across the world. Fast, safe transfers. Like a gunshot. I assumed he was talking about the speed of the transfers. But this is the RV News section, and he's giving us clues. Like a gunshot. Now there is only speculation about when the world will change. We got this 2012 prophecy that I read to you that I got back in 2012 from auto writing session. It talks about the world changing. Jesus said, no one can know. Ignition in sight. That was Monday. And that was directly when, after that is when he said 1-2, when I was trying to get the thing. We come back. That ends up, some wonderful person was tuned in, decided to gematria those two words out of this entire meditation, not capitalized. We're usually looking for capitalizations. Okay? Got yellow and Jen talking to angels. I mean, I think it's happening. I really do. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Majid. Everything is ready to go in Iraq. Even the Central Bank of Iraq hosted a workshop on Sunday, August 23rd. Teaching bankers how to deal with laundered money or smuggled money. Yeah, that's not what they were doing. I'm not trying to get cocky here. Okay, I'm just excited. I mean, come on. Come on. Then, okay, so there's a Jentel that I put out on 7/2. It was talking about the next lunar eclipse. Okay? And The Gentels are kind of all, and which it's kind of turning out really cool, giving us something to do. Is the Gentels are all coded and mixed up, and we're looking for Jentel confirms, kind of try to decode this thing, kind of like the Q post. I think that's fun. Anyway, I didn't plan it that way, but that's how it worked out. So Jentel on 7.2 says the announcement will come at night during the next lunar eclipse, August 27th, 28th. An announcement that changes the world. Why is everybody talking about changing the world? It keeps coming up. But I said then, not the RV, but I don't know if I was correct about that. But then I said not the RV. A shift of continents and unions. Gold. The 4 tiers will complete before then. Apparently, we've had delays, and that didn't happen. But who knows? Who knows? When I asked about when, he put up a finger to his lips and said, "Shh! Oh my God, we got it twice. We got shh twice." Then he said, "Nomad, Turks, lazy Sunday." Parade, Sunshine State, listen to the crowds. That is all for today. Okay, so that could have been about something that was happening back then. But the reason I'm mentioning it is because we've got a lunar eclipse coming up on the 27th and 28th, and we're expecting some kind of announcement. Now, I prefer, Jesus, if that would happen tonight, because that would fall into line with my, it happens on a Wednesday after an earthquake. But, we're pretty far into Wednesday right now, so let's just go with the flow. All right. Now, tomorrow's the 27th. I don't know exactly what day the lunar eclipse is on. Shut up. God, it just keeps coming in. I'm telling you. The information just keeps coming in through other people. Okay. Marsi said ATMs in Iraq are shut down, no bills moving there, contractors can't get money, only taking credit card payments. Boots on the ground are saying that they're celebrating in Iraq. Do you think maybe God won August 23rd? I mean, apparently it's biblical. And what have we all been waiting for? Something biblical? I mean, this is fun. Why not have fun in the waiting? I think I also got something else just now. So, weird show tonight, but I think we're right there. Okay. Okay. Somebody's still talking about codes. Somebody's talking about codes. Okay. Now, the information behind the scenes is slim. Okay. We do know at a time like this, we're going to have misinformation circulating. There's people are going to be like speculating. Someone else is expecting something to happen Friday. Private. It's just coming in from all over the place. Something's going down. Something's going down. I think we're good. I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know how long it's going to take. It's just my phone won't stop. I don't know what you're talking about. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, on 6/16. Yeah, but I think that was something that passed. Okay, I'm talking to who just sent this to me. Jentel on 6/16. It said possibility of notifications for 4B is Thursday, Friday, but that was back then, and we did have a delay. We've had delays all the way along, all the way through. Attacks, delays. They don't. Now let's just take a look at that for a second. The Q post. Now the RV part of it is to take the enemy's power. We need to take their money. When Jesus told me August 23rd, God wins, he looked at me and he said, what do you say? August 23rd, God wins, and he said, you have to take their money. Their money is their power. If you don't take their money, we will never win. August 23rd, God wins. Then we've got a video. I'm going to post a video on Telegram so you can watch it. I have not watched it yet, so I'm not absolutely sure about this, but a very trusted friend today told me. I've got to go get it from email. Oh, no, I don't. Hang on. Told me that this guy does like, where the hell is it? Is it that? Hang on. All right, this is it. I'm going to post it on Telegram. This is what she said. One of my students today watched it and said that he was the one who said that he did the calculations from how long humanity's been enslaved and when from the Bible and how long they were when they were going to be released from their slavery. He got the year 2026 and then he got the date August 23rd, and he said August 23rd, God wins. That's just too good. And that information came into me today. All right, I'm going to go post that on Telegram. You guys can watch it after this. Trip out on that. But come on with the gematria. I mean, we basically, Jesus is giving us information. He can't tell us when for the good of the operation so it doesn't delay it or screw it up or alert anybody who's listening. Yes. Yeah, that's the name of the guy. Whoever said that. I believe that's his name. Jacoby Bay? Never heard of him. But he's being very cryptic in the last few Gentels because of the sensitivity operation. It gives us 2 words, 1, 2, and then it leads us all the way back. Says my name. I mean, what are the chances of that? Not just Jennifer or whatever. Jen. And Jen talks to angels. And leads us back to yellow, which is our code word for it's happening. And now we've got all this information, and Jentel confirms, and behind the scenes intel flooding in. I think it's happening. Whether it takes a day or 2 days or whatever, I don't really even care anymore. It's happening. Something's happening. I'm serious. I want to go back and look at what else was picked up. I just want to look. I'm doing things so fast nowadays that I don't have time to really absorb anything, but I want to look at every page that this person got on the, oh my God. You know what else it said? Giving proof of God. Okay? Yeah, that's my goal. And then, okay. That's been my goal from the beginning. I mean, come on. I told you the story about the stepfather when I was 14 or 15, sitting at the end of the long solid marble dining room table, and he's got all his rich clothing and boots made out of animal skin and exotic animals. Sits at the end of the table with the scotch glass, and he goes, "Jennifer, I thought you were smart. What's this I hear about you believing in God? Why don't you prove to me that he exists?" And I'm like, "Why don't you prove to me that he doesn't?" Game on right there. Game on. And you know what? I win. Now, we've got giving proof of God, Jen talking to angels. There's also I, God, remove false idol. Lunar synodic period. Wait a minute. We got lunar eclipse. What is a lunar synodic period? That is interesting. That is in the gematria for 1, 2. Underneath the word yellow was reverse, Leviathan, numbers, and treason. Interesting. See if anything that pops up. Heavenly rabbit hole. Decode the end. If we're at the end of this thing, which is actually the beginning of Nasara, but like if we're at the end of the thing, we're decoding the Jentel. Decode the end. Also, Yeshua. Heavenly rabbit hole, decode the end. My love, thinking, partner, training, Yeshua. That's just too freaking good. I mean, I don't even know what to say about coming full circle. I'm reading the gematria that I didn't get to read all of it before. I just saw the highlighted. I highlighted it. Yeah, it's too small for me to read there. I am who I am. Who is I am? God. This one's cool. I just told the story about prove to me that he exists. CA Demon happened down in California. Cannot be near Jen. That's freaking right. Cast you out in the name of Jesus. This sounds biblical to me, people. And then on the same day, without being prompted, this woman tells me that she just happened to watch this video of this guy who was saying the same thing, came up with the same date, August 23rd, 2026, and God wins. That's too good. Mic drop. I mean, come on. Something's happening. It's happening. And Jesus gave us the code word. Something's happening. Or something happened on August 23rd, and we're yet to hear about it. We've also got coming in the news from 616, we had a mountain landslide or eruption. You know, it's not really strong, but massive flash flood in the Himalayan nation of Nepal washed away villages and damaging roads and stuff. Very sad, but take it. And that was the Jentel. So if that is happening, what was in the Jentel for 616? Okay, I'm going to give it to you. Whoever said, I'm going to give that one to you. Whoever said, sent me this. I know who you are. Best possibility of notifications for 4B is Thursday, Friday is in the 616 RV News Jentel part. We just got a mountain landslide or eruption. Jentel confirmation that directs us back to what was said there. Collecting final signatures for geopolitical business is also in there. Trump gives the order is in that one. Also, that's in there. When people are paid, you will not know. I'm going to take that one. I think that's probably a good one. Better than I thought. Now, coming in the news this week, I saw like stairs going down. Like I assume that was a subway or a train station or something underground. I saw it flooded, just flooded. Stairs flooded. Today, actually, I don't know if it was today. I saw a video of apocalyptic flooding ravages Nepal. So that's the same thing. We had landslides, flooding. So that event is pointing to two different gentels. From 824 and 616. We got two Jentel confirmations this week. We've got on this Jentel so far for the 24th. We got the flooded subways or the flooded stairs. We've got Grassley. Have not seen Bimbo. But like I said, sometimes they show up later on. So I don't know. I've never really stopped to see how many coming in the news I get. The number of them differs, and how many points of interest we would have in the RV news. I should take more time and do that, but I'm too busy. So if we got two coming in, Jentel confirms from the coming in the news, then maybe two things on a certain Jentel, then maybe two things in that are correct. For now, when the Jentel confirms show up. Definitely 1, 2. I think so. I do. Treaty signed yesterday. We got confirmation on the 23rd all over the place. Everybody's talking about the 23rd. And they don't all watch me. We got confirmation about the illuminated grid across the world. And that had been activated, whether that was the quantum financial system or Starlink or whatever. I think it's the quantum financial system. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's happening. Okay, I'm going to trust in Jesus. I mean, he gave us a damn code word. That was great. He didn't just say yellow, Jen. I mean, come on.